We're counting down the top 3 most legendary tactical moves ever revealed by Sun Tzu, where raw numbers mattered less than strategy. From force-multiplying battlefield maneuvers to psychological gambits that shattered armies, each tactic rewrote the rules of victory. But which principle stands above the rest? Let's begin with number 3. Number 3. Terrain mastery turns the ground beneath your feet into the most powerful weapon on the battlefield. In Sun Tzu's world, control of the landscape meant the difference between annihilation and impossible victory. He didn't just advise seizing high ground, he mapped out 9 types of terrain, from open plains to desperate ground, each demanding its own tactics. The principle was clear: force the enemy to fight uphill, through narrow passes, or across rivers, and even a small force could repel a giant. This wasn't theory. In 506 BCE, at the Battle of Boju, Wu's army, outnumbered at least 2-1, used the bends and bottlenecks of the Feishui River to flank and break Chu's larger host. Wu's generals positioned troops on elevated ground, exploited river crossings, and forced Chu into vulnerable formations. Despite lacking numbers, they routed an army many times their size, capturing the enemy capital. Modern military doctrine still echoes these lessons. High ground offers superior observation and defense, while choke points force an attacker's hand. In business and logistics, the same principle applies: own the critical pathways, and you multiply your leverage. Terrain mastery isn't just about hills and rivers, it's about shaping the field so every move favors you. Number 2. Psychological warfare turns the enemy's mind into the true battlefield. Sun Tzu taught that the greatest victory is won before swords ever cross, by shattering the opponent's nerve and resolve. His doctrine was precise: appear strong when you are weak, and weak when you are strong. In practice, this meant raising false campfires, beating drums through the night, and sending scouts to spread rumors, each move designed to fill the enemy with doubt and hesitation. The Mongol armies perfected this art centuries later, using feigned retreats to devastating effect. At the Battle of the Khalkha River in 1223, Mongol horsemen pretended to flee for days, luring the Rus and Kipchak forces into a reckless pursuit. When the enemy was stretched thin and discipline broke, the Mongols reversed course, encircled their pursuers, and annihilated them. Panic and confusion did the work of 1,000 arrows, allowing the Mongols to conquer vast territories with minimal losses. In today's world, modern cyber operations use misinformation and digital decoys to disrupt organizations, sowing confusion and eroding trust before a single system is breached. The lesson endures: break the enemy's will, and the battle is won before it begins. And finally, in first place, deception strategies form the bedrock of Sun Tzu's approach to warfare. His most quoted maxim, "All warfare is based on deception," wasn't just philosophy, it was a blueprint for victory. Misdirection, dummy forces, and false intelligence became tools to reshape reality on the battlefield. In practice, this principle delivered some of history's most decisive outcomes. At Cannae in 216 BCE, Hannibal orchestrated a double envelopment by appearing weak at his center, drawing the massive Roman army into a trap that closed around them on both flanks. The result was catastrophic. Nearly 50,000 Romans lost in a single day, a feat that stunned the ancient world and remains a textbook example of outsmarting a stronger foe. Centuries later, deception scaled up to industrial warfare. In 1944, Operation Fortitude convinced German commanders that the D-Day landings would strike at Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. The Allies constructed fake armies, deployed dummy tanks, and flooded enemy spies with false reports. This elaborate ruse tied down 15 German divisions far from the real invasion, ensuring the success of the Normandy assault and changing the course of World War II. Deception strategies don't just tilt the odds, they redefine them. By controlling what the enemy believes, commanders seize the initiative before a single shot is fired, and none of it works without intelligence. Spies and reconnaissance are the nervous system of deception, feeding the information that turns illusion into reality. In Sun Tzu's world, deception isn't a trick, it's the ultimate weapon, unlocking every other tactic in the arsenal. Also worth considering, intelligence and espionage form the hidden backbone of every Sun Tzu tactic. In his final chapter, Sun Tzu mapped out a 5-type spy network: local spies rooted in enemy territory, inward spies drawn from within enemy ranks, converted spies who switch sides, expendable spies used to feed false information, and surviving spies who return with critical secrets. No tactic succeeds without these eyes and ears. At Red Cliffs in 208 CE, Allied forces sent a defector carrying false plans. Cao Cao's fleet was lured into a fire trap, crippling his invasion before battle began. This was not luck, it was information warfare centuries ahead of its time. Today, corporations devote more than 5% of revenue to competitive intelligence, mirroring Sun Tzu's insistence that foreknowledge is worth more than armies. Without spies, deception is blind, and psychological warfare is guesswork. Intelligence is the silent force that turns strategy into victory. Across all Sun Tzu's tactics, one truth emerges: victory depends on outthinking, not overpowering your opponent. Strategy beats strength, on battlefields, in boardrooms, and everywhere competition lives. Outsmart to win.